One of the questions I'm asked most often in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is, which Galactic Legend should I be farming next? And while it is a simple question, the ins and outs of each Galactic Legend, the benefits and the detriments, the goods and the bads of each Galactic Legend can really come in and weigh into your decision of which Galactic Legend you should be farming next. So we're going to talk about that. What are the best things and the worst things, the best and worst features of each Galactic Legend in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars dad, Nooch Too Good. And to my left, here are all of the Galactic Legends, top to bottom, bottom to top. We're going to look at each one, talk about their farm, and talk about the gameplay, the places where they fit the most, the best and worst for each Galactic Legend. Now, I should say before we start, once again, we always give this disclaimer: a Galactic Legend is a Galactic Legend is a Galactic Legend. Now, obviously, some are better than others, some are worse than others, some are, have better detriments and benefits, some have worse. But, if you get a Galactic Legend on your roster, you're going to be able to perform a lot of different things in a lot of different game modes for your guild, for yourself, etc., etc., etc. Let's talk about Rey first. We're going to go chronologically here. Rey, her farm, one of the drawbacks to her farm here is that it really doesn't overlap with much else. She does require the Radis, and you do need the Houndstooth for that. The Houndstooth is also required for the Finalizer, which you need for KYLO. The Houndstooth is also required for the Executor, but none of the other things that are here, other than Jedi Training Rey, is required for Jedi Master Luke, but all the other resistance that you farm are going to be, just not really. Her farm does not do a lot of overlapping. One of the benefits of Rey is you can just throw her on defense in Grand Arena and be happy about it. Really, I really struggled. This is a Glurmit video here. I'll give credit for all the videos in the comments or the description. So very few people will use Rey on offense in Grand Arena. She does end up playing offense in other game modes like TW. Well, not even TW. She ends up on defense and TW as well. Territory battles, conquest, etc. You can definitely use her on offense and to get stuff done in those game modes. But as far as Grand Arena goes, you're just going to plop her down on defense for the most part, and you're good to go. That's one of the benefits of Rey. There's not a lot of, you don't have to put a lot of thought into where to use her and how to use her and etc. So hey, good job, Glurmit. That's a nice little fade. That was a nice little graphics move right there. I have a strong appreciation for that. Let's get back to the battle. So one drawback to Rey, I will say this, is to make the teams work, to make the Finn team work, you've got to go farm Zori Bliss. You got to get her Zetas and maybe her Omicron, although she's really good with her Zetas already. And the best Rey team is available with Ben Solo in there, and he's a conquest character. Although I think that's more for later game stuff. I even through Kyber 2 have had a lot of success getting holds with Rey. Even without the Holocron, I've been getting holds with Rey in Grand Arena, even without Ben Solo on the team. So while Ben Solo makes it more of a pesky team and kind of is more of a star killer defense than anything else, she really is effective on defense in Grand Arena. So that's the biggest benefit of Rey to me, is just the ability to plop her on defense and know that you've got her down as a wall down there and something that your opponent's going to have to deal with. The drawback to her is her farming just isn't really great. Doesn't lead to a lot of other stuff, and honestly, she's not super great in like Conquest or other game modes. And when she is good, it takes a long. You can't really do a lot of autoing of Rey like in Conquest or Galactic Challenges, because she tends to not use her Whirling Bird or Whirlwind or whatever a lot. Need to use that more often than she does to really have effectiveness. So anyway, there you go. And one of the drawbacks is you don't use her for offense, but I like her for defense. And now we turn our thoughts and attention to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. For Kylo, with his farming, again, you got a lot of first order farming here, which doesn't have a lot of overlap. The characters don't really overlap much, although I guess Kylo Ren on mass is required for, or you need a first order team to get BB-8. Yeah, whatever that's worth. Oh, I forgot one thing about Rey and Kylo. One of the big benefits of Rey and Kylo is there are Lightspeed bundles available for both of them. And while we don't really understand the Lightspeed bundle cadence yet, we don't really know how it's going to work, I find it hard to believe that the Rey and Kylo bundles are not going to make another appearance or multiple appearances, or eventually just maybe be a permanent thing in the game. So the good thing about farming Rey and Kylo is you can wait around and not do the farm. You'll probably have access to Lightspeed bundles that you can spend on to get about 50 bucks. Will get you all the farming done that you need for both of these characters. So that's one of the big benefits if you are spending at any level. If you're a minor spender, even a big spender, whatever, in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, is you can buy your journey to these two Galactic Legends. The drawback for Kylo is these first order characters are not required anywhere else. Now the Finalizer farm does give you 3 of the bounty hunter ships, and those are required. And also, I think the TIE Advanced, right? Doesn't the TIE Advanced? Those are required for the Millennium Falcon. Those are required for the Executor. The Houndstooth again is required for Rey. So you do get a lot of overlap with the Finalizer farm into other really good farms, but the rest of this farm isn't really exciting. Now let's go take a look at some gameplay. One of the biggest benefits to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is that he in the right situations, he can counter almost any Galactic Legend. It's a little bit tougher when you get to like Jedi Master Kenobi. Jedi Master Luke is kind of a tough one for him as well. And Leia Organa, he doesn't work against Leia Organa, but nobody does, but that's a conversation for later. But he works against Jabba, where he can work, if you get the right team out there, he can beat Jedi Master Luke, he can also beat Jedi Master Kenobi with the right team out there. If you do the right things with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, you can do a lot of good things with him in almost any game mode. Back in the day when we had the Heroic Sith raid, and that was our top raid or our pinnacle raid, he soloed the entire raid. But just to me, the biggest benefit of Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is his effectiveness and his flexibleness on flexibility, maybe flexibleness. No, all right, we'll stop doing that. But he's very flexible. He does a lot of great things on offense in Grand Arena and other game modes. You can put him on auto. Now, generally speaking, by the end of the battle, you're just going to have Kylo on the field. Everybody else is going to be gone. But he can take out Jabba. Kylo is very, very flexible. Let's go to the end. We're going to watch his ult go off here. Oh, he didn't do his ult. There, that's cute. Cutesy. And here he's going to take out Jabba here at the end. We'll watch him just this might do it right here. Bam. Not quite, but he's going to take out Jabba. So Kylo is very flexible on offense. He's just a great character to have on your roster, and there goes Jabba, and that's without Datacron. So love Kylo Ren. He's still one of my favorites to this day. Now, Sith Eternal Emperor. Here is your boy. If you want an easy, early Galactic Legend to farm, Sith Eternal Emperor is going to be your pal. It's an easy farm. You get lots of useful characters. Jedi Knight Anakin is a great one. You can use Veers and Stark. You get your Imperial Troopers up and running. Piet is also required up here. You get Darth Vader. You get Emperor Palpatine, who's got a lot of use in the game. You get a lot of useless characters along the way as well, like Krennic, Darth Maul, and Darth Sidious. Darth Sidious had a Datacron here recently, but generally speaking, Darth Sidious isn't all that exciting in Galaxy of Heroes. Count Dooku has his uses. Sith Marauder will go on a Sith Empire team. The Imperial TIE Bomber goes to the Executor. So his farm is pretty useful. You got to farm some other stuff to go with it. One of the drawbacks to Sith Eternals, you really have to have Wat Tambor and or the Mandalorian armor on the team. Let's go take a look at some gameplay. Let's see if I can avoid the a little watch more videos screen at the end of this one. But so Sith Eternal Emperor, and there you see Wat Tambor right there. That's one of the drawbacks to farming Sith Eternal Emperor early. Now, in the early game, maybe through like Bronzium and Chromium, you'll be able to use him without Sith Eternal to some level of success. But you've got to really, other than that, you've got to have Wat on the team to make him work. You've got to give him that protection / tank tech to really make him work. I think sometimes you even use the health tech, but you've got to have Wat out there, or Sith Eternal just isn't a great character. He needs that lifter, which is Wat Tambor, which makes it challenging, for a lot of players if you're getting him early, because he's a very easy farm. He's the fastest Galactic Legend to farm, but he's got to have that extra piece to make him really work really well. And I was thinking of something else here a moment ago, and it kind of left me. Oh, here's the other thing, is that Sith Eternal Emperor, you really, unless you're very early in Grand Arena, he's really not he's not good on defense in Grand Arena. Now, with that said, I don't know why people that I play, when I get my free-to-play accounts, and there he goes, bam, that's it. When I get my free-to-play accounts and people have Sith Eternal and I have no Galactic Legend, I can't for the life of me figure out why they're dropping on defense. If you're playing somebody in Grand Arena and they don't have any Galactic Legends, put him on the front wall, people. Now, Wampa may be a problem. Make sure that they don't have any Galactic Legends in Wampa. So he's got a lot of vulnerabilities on defense, but once you get Wat Tambor in there, he's going to work for you great on defense. And early in the game, he's just going to be a Galactic Legend on defense. So there is Sith Eternal Emperor. I'm pausing it to avoid the end screen this time, but yeah, there's his benefits and drawbacks for that guy. Now, Jedi Master Luke is really the first place we get to where the farming for the character really kind of comes together, and you get some really, really nice stuff out of it. You'll get Mon Mothma. Now, you're going to have to farm a whole other team around her to get her working, but, you know, Mon Mothma's really good. You get Jedi Training Rey. You can put a team out there. That's okay. Old Ben becomes a really great tank and a Star Killer team. 3PO and Chewie. You're going to have those in your CLS team. And to get Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker here, you're going to have to farm CLS. So you're going to build a full CLS, Commander Luke Skywalker team, out of your Jedi Master Luke farm. And there ain't nothing wrong with the Commander Luke Skywalker team. It's going to be great for you. R2-D2, great plug-and-play character until you get Leia Organa. Then you get down to the extras. Princess Leia, Wedge Antilles, Biggs, and Biggs can go on your well, I guess that you could even put, you know, Lando and Biggs on your early Mon Mothma team, and Wedge, Biggs, Lando on your early Mon Mothma team so you get some better characters. Hermit Yoda fits great. Hermit Yoda and Jedi Knight Luke are the two that fit great onto Jedi Master Luke's squad. Other than that, you'll have to farm some characters outside of them. But I view the Commander Luke Skywalker team that you're gonna have to farm for this as the biggest benefit so far out of any of the teams we've seen, as far as an endgame team that's outside of the Galactic Legend that you're going to farm to get him. So let's look at that gameplay. Now, one of the challenges of Jedi Master Luke is to make his team work really effectively, and he's going to be an offensive Galactic Legend, by the way. Generally speaking, again, unless you're early in the game, if you get him early and people don't have Galactic Legends, they don't have counters for him, you can drop him on defense, he'll hold for you. But you've got to make him his most effective. This is the most effective team with Jedi Knight Revan and Jolie Bindo out there. So that's an extra farm you got to do, which you can view as a benefit or a detriment. Jedi Knight Revan is not a difficult farm, but yeah, it is an extra farm that you got to relic him up, but he does add a lot to this Jedi Master Luke team. When you get later in the game, to the later and end game, it's going to be Jedi Knight Cal Kestis who becomes the lifter for Jedi Master Luke instead of Jedi Knight Revan. So a drawback to him is you don't really want to put him on defense anywhere above, you know, a Rhodium or more in Grand Arena. People have said he's great in Conquest. I've not had that experience. You know, for me in Conquest, I like to put, by the way, Hermit Yoda should be on this team, not Grandmaster. That should be Hermit Yoda over there. Hermit Yoda's a monster on this team. I'm not sure why Grandmaster Yoda's out there. He can do some fun stuff, but put Hermit Yoda on the team. My experience with Jedi Master Luke in Conquest is he's hit and miss. Like, he does okay sometimes. I'm a guy who likes to put my team in and press auto in Conquest because I don't find it an exhilarating game mode. So I don't find him to be a beast in Conquest. But regardless, Jedi Master Luke is a good offensive Galactic Legend. He can counter a lot of, you can see him here. He's going to counter Jedi Master Kenobi. Not very effectively. It would have been better if Hermit Yoda was on the team, but he can counter Jedi Master Kenobi. He can counter Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. He can counter Rey. He's just a really good offensive Galactic Legend to have on your squad. Defense, he's not going to be great, and you got to get a couple lifters for him, like Jedi Knight Cal or Jedi Knight Revan to put him at his best. And we'll get to the end here where he takes out Jedi Master Kenobi. And yeah, so his ultimate too. One benefit of Jedi Master Luke is you don't really need his ultimate to make him work on most battles. It was used here. You can see he transforms into Chuck Norris, Luke Skywalker, and it is definitely a good ultimate and adds good things to the team. I don't find it to be a necessary thing. So there's the ups and downs of Jedi Master Luke. And now we turn our attention to Jedi Master Kenobi, and this is where it gets kind of interesting. You know, you're going to farm a lot of good stuff for Jedi Master Kenobi, like Mace Windu, wink wink. Qui-Gon Jinn with his Omicron puts together a great team. You farm Magna Guard and Grievous. That's going to get you towards your Separatist droids. Cody, meh. Cad Bane, but, good for his ship, but not really a good character in game. Jango Fett's got some spots on some Separatist teams. Shaak Ti becomes a plug and play toward the end of the game. Grandmaster Yoda is always fun. Get a lot of good, useful farms in here, and a lot of kind of questionable stuff in there. But the big thing about farming Jedi Master Kenobi is right here. Wat Tambor is required for Jedi Master Kenobi. And a lot of you guys, I've seen a lot of rosters. Wat Tambor is not somebody that a lot of you are getting early on. You're not getting into that Geonosis Territory Battles guild. You should be. Go watch my videos on how to find a good guild. But if you're not getting Wat Tambor, and you've got to have him on this farm. Other than that, I don't think his farm is all that challenging. There's not a lot of journeys here. The only real journey you've got is Grandmaster Yoda, I think. Let me look through here real quick, make sure I'm not wrong. Grievous is a farm you got to do in the Fleet Arena. or fleet shop. It takes a little bit of work there. Not super difficult. I don't see any journeys here. General Kenobi, nah, that's easily. And the negotiator takes you a minute to get up to 6 stars, but that's not that big of a. Yeah, the farm is not that difficult as far as journeys. Just Wat Tambor is the big holdback. The other big holdback, and we'll go to the gameplay here. The other big holdback is that really to make Jedi Master Kenobi work at his best, you've got to have Commander Ahsoka on the team. And down there's Commander Ahsoka. Without Commander Ahsoka on the team, you're gonna get, Jedi Master Kenobi at about 60 to 65% of his usefulness or his, and that's not the way you do that battle. You wait until there's no taunt, or you can go get, anyway. Side note. So without Commander Ahsoka, your Jedi Master Kenobi is not functioning at his maximum ability. We talked about lifters before, like Wat for Sith Eternal. We talked about Jedi Knight Revan and Jedi Knight Cal for Jedi Master Luke. Those are important for them, and probably Wat's really important for Sith Eternal. Out of all the Galactic Legends, the most important lifter, well, maybe second most, I don't know. Commander Ahsoka, without her on the team, it's not working. And you can't get, aside from crystals, you really don't get access to Commander Ahsoka until you're at 4 million galactic power, you're doing conquest, you're doing proving grounds, and even then it takes over a year, really like a year and a half, to get her farmed unless you're doubling up or if you're getting the conquest pass every month. So Commander Ahsoka is going to take you a while to get on your roster, and that's why we really look at Jedi Master Kenobi as more of a late game. As far as counters, he's countering pretty much everything except LEIA Organa, I think. Maybe there's even a way to do that. And he's great. People will put him on defense for the most part. He's a really high-performing Galactic Legend in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but you got to have Commander Ahsoka on there to get him to those high-performing levels where he needs to be, and that's kind of the biggest drawback. Let's go ahead and scroll through. He's going to beat JABBA here, even with doing it wrong at the beginning. So JABBA's down. That battle is over. There's your Jedi Master Kenobi. And as we turn our sights toward Lord Vader, or Lord Failure as he's known, I just want to say this. He gets a bad rap because when he was launched, Maul was not available, and that is not Darth Maul, it's Maul. Maul is the lifter for Lord Vader. Maul really takes him up 2 or 3 notches. Other than that, he is an okay Galactic Legend. He takes a long time to get going. And the problem is you really need the rest of his team to stay alive while he's getting going. So just be aware of that. He takes a while, but once he gets going, 3 minutes into the battle, he's just going to kill everything he sees. It takes him a minute. People call him Lord Failure. Without Maul on the team, he's not performing at his maximum levels. I think Commander Ahsoka is more important to Kenobi than Maul is to Lord Vader. That's my personal opinion. What you can do with Lord Vader, put him on defense, get a nice little datacron that gives him a bunch of health and protection to the team. You want a bunch of protection because it converts to health here. But let's look at the farm. You get the Bad Batch along the way. Oh, and by the way, he requires a butt ton of Kyrotex. I mean, just more than any other character in the game. Any other farm, you need a ton of Kyrotex to get him. But you're going to get the Bad Batch. You're going to get a Padme team. You're going to get the Gas 501st team. Zam Wessel's a nice lifter with their Omicron for some bounty hunters. You get the Y-Wing here. There's not a lot of wasted space in this farm. Tusken Raider, okay, but you could use a 3v3 Tusken team, so there's not a lot of wasted space. Embo will eventually go into your JABBA team. A lot of good stuff here on the journey, but a lot of Kyrotex required for Lord Vader. But don't be scared off by all the Lord Failure comments. And yeah, you do need Maul to really make him work at his best. And here's Lord Failure going against Jedi Master Kenobi. He can beat Jedi Master Kenobi, and he does a lot of good things. But again, and there's Maul. Again, Maul is the same situation as Commander Ahsoka. He is the lifter for Lord Vader. He's only available in Proving Grounds, so you got to get to 4 million, and it's going to take you another year and a half, unless you got some crystals, unless you pay for the Proving Ground, the Conquest Pass, etc. It's the same situation as Jedi Master Kenobi. And they kind of stopped doing the lifters after this because nobody was really happy about that. Although lifters keep coming out for the Galactic Legends, but maybe not on purpose. Anywho, Lord Vader, as you saw there, he's not doing a lot of damage at the beginning, but he's going to stack, and he's going to ramp, and he's going to, as he moves on, he does a lot of good stuff. The biggest drawback, again, for Lord Vader is just, really, he needs a good datacron with a bunch of protection. If you drop a bunch of protection on the rest of the team, and him, a lot of good things are going to happen on this team. And this is where he really, it's not siphoning, but he pulls mastery off of the rest of the team. And the more teammates you have available when he does his ultimate, the better he's going to stack mastery over the course of the battle and do good things. So Lord Vader's good in all sorts of game modes. He does a lot of good things. You really need Maul to make him most effective, and that's his biggest drawback. His farm is very efficient, or not, excuse me. His farm is very effective. You get a lot of good teams out of it, but just a lot of Chirotechs involved. So there's your Lord Vader, goods and bads and uglies. Let's go to the end here and watch him beat Jedi Master Kenobi, and then we pause it because we don't want to get the extra end screen. Is he going to beat him? Oh, he is. You can see there he beats him, but, you know, maybe not a lot of great banners, and that's why most people will put Lord Vader on defense in Grand Arena for a lot of those reasons. You saw I just one-shot somebody there at the end. Now we get to the fun ones. Let's go to Jabba here. Now, Jabba is exciting because his farm gives you a lot of good stuff. You get Han Solo, you're going to get Jedi Knight Luke, which means you're going to get a full CLS squad. You're going to farm that full CLS squad because Jedi Knight Luke, C-3PO, and Han Solo are required. You're going to go ahead and get Chewie and Chewpio along the way. The other nice thing about Jabba is his entire team. We haven't talked a lot about this, but he's kind of, him and KYLO, I think, are unique in this, but his entire endgame team is contained within the farm. With one exception, Embo's not in there. I realize people put Embo in, but you can put Boba Fett in there and you'd be just fine. It just pulls Boba Fett off your bounty hunter team, but you can farm a complete Jabba team with the farm here. You do get some garbage along the way. Jawa, yeah, you can farm a full Jawa team. It's kind of fun. And again, the Tusken team, but I mean, garbage. Then you also get Mob Enforcer and Gamorrean Guard. Nowhere to put those guys. They're Greedo. You know, you get a lot of just extra junk stuff, but you get the Jedi Knight Luke farm. So you're going to have CLS team. You get Bouche Leia, who's great on his team. You get Skiff Guard Lando, Kersantin. They go on the team. Fennec Shand is on your way toward a Lord Vader counter in Grand Arena as well when you farm Fennec Shand up to Relic 7. And here's one of the biggest benefits of having Jabba on your squad. It's Smuggler's Run 2. Smuggler's Run 2 runs about every 3 weeks in the game and gives you a bunch of mod materials. And it's not like you need him because he's good in it. You literally cannot do Smuggler's Run 2 without Jabba on your roster. You have to have him, and then a bunch of other smugglers here. You can see this consists of Kersantin, Han, Chewie, and Enfys Nest here. You have to have Jabba to do Smuggler's Run 2, but the rewards for Smuggler's Run 2 are tremendous. So that's one of the biggest benefits of having Jabba is a bunch of extra mod materials. I'm sure it's at the end of this video. I should have checked, but we'll go look at that here as we move forward. The other benefit is he's just a stalwart on defense. You throw him on defense in Grand Arena, he's going to use up some big teams. We did see the SLKR can counter him, but a lot of times there's datacrons out there that make that impossible for SLKR. Not right now. There's a big, huge SLKR datacron where he kills everything at the moment, but Jabba is just a really difficult defensive team to get through, and if your opponent runs out of Galactic Legends or doesn't have enough Galactic Legends to get through it, they're really going to struggle against Jabba. If Jabba is your first Galactic Legend, throw him on the front wall and just watch your elo climb in Grand Arena, baby, because that's what's going to happen. Jabba is a major defensive force in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes Grand Arena. Overall, a great Galactic Legend. I've been trying to think of drawbacks for Jabba. The only thing I can really think of is he takes a while. It's a long farm, but I did it in a year free to play. I guess it's not that long, is it? It's really not that long of a farm. It's out of all the Galactic Legends, these last two, I don't really have a lot of drawbacks for. And I think that's a good thing. So Jabba, as far as drawbacks, I just don't get a lot of them out there. There's not a lot. So I'm going to say Jabba. We're going to start the conversation here with all the benefits you get from Jabba. Here's Smuggler's Run being completed. And flash the rewards. There we go. Come on, YouTube. Hold on. Let's see if we can get there. It's going to be up there. I can't control it. I don't even know what that is. Oh, this is the guy that published the video. Okay. Oh, man, that's fast. Anyway, you get a lot of good mod material from Jabba every 3 weeks. And finally here today, we take a look at LEIA Organa. We're not going to talk about Ahsoka because we just too much is unknown at this point. We'll have her soon. LEIA Organa, again, like Jabba, I really find it hard to find any drawbacks to her. I guess one might be she's easily defeated by Darth Bane in Grand Arena, which is new. We've always kind of looked at her when she first came out as a defensive monster, but Darth Bane came out and said, no. And so if your opponent has Darth Bane, you know, you do need... Darth Bane kind of beats everything. He's kind of like the Galactic Legend, even though he's not a Galactic Legend. If your opponent has Galactic Legend, maybe you need somewhere to absorb it, and Leia becomes a team that just sucks up that Darth Bane so he's not used elsewhere. But you're gonna, again, this is actually out of the most recent ones, maybe an easier farm. Commander Luke Skywalker, I think, is the only journey in here. Let's look through and make sure I'm not thinking incorrectly. Akbar, Rex, Nisa. Yeah, so Commander Luke Skywalker is the only journey character, and if you're playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, most people have Commander Luke Skywalker. He's a very easy early unlock. Now, you will require a lot of Kyrotex along the way. Not as much as Lord Vader, not as much as Jedi Master Kenobi, not as much as Jabba. So less Kyrotex because you don't have to go get Jedi Knight Luke. The cool thing about Leia is, once you get her done, you're going to farm that Commander Luke Skywalker team. You're going to have Boosh Leia, which you need for Jabba. You'll be right around the corner from Jedi Knight Luke, which you need for Jabba and Jedi Master Luke. Lobot's kind of a garbage. Drogon goes on the team. R2-D2 goes on the team. You need a couple more Rebels to throw on there when you get it open. Maybe you can put Captain Han, Rebel Officer Leia Organa. They're not great. The 3 Ewoks, you know, Princess Nisa is kind of fun, but relicking them is going to be a little bit painful. Captain Rex is going to make your Phoenix team fly. Lando still isn't a very good character in game. Admiral Akbar, nah. So you get some garbage. But Leia's farm is generally going to, you know, so maybe that's the drawback with Leia and Jabba in the big way, is you're going to get some garbage in their farms. But you get all sorts of other good stuff. And what we're playing now is Endor Escalation. This is the monthly event that Leia goes on that gets you some extra stuff. Not a lot. Generally speaking, I think Leia's biggest benefits are in-game, in Conquest, in Grand Arena, in territory battles. She does a lot of good things for you there on defense and offense. Again, if Darth Bane's out there in Grand Arena, maybe not as much. But she does some great things out there. But Endor Escalation, when you get to the end of it, you know, you get this. You have to have Leia to do, again, just like Jabba, you have to have Leia Organa to get Endor Escalation open. And then you're going to get to the end here. These are a bunch of Ewok shards, which I find that weird. I do find it weird that when you do Endor Escalation, you have to have Leia to get there. And then they give you a bunch of Ewok shards. So I guess if you just farmed Wicket and Chirpa and Nisa, which by the way you didn't, because you're gonna have to get 3PO along there, whatever. They give you the Ewok shards, then you end up getting some relic materials here, and you get an Omicron as well, which is nice. It's not nearly as good as Jabba's rewards that he gets. This right here, it says trash. Oh, you don't see it. I think it says trash rewards. So nobody's excited about these rewards, but it is extra stuff that you do get for Leia. It's not like having Jabba on the squad, but the farm is great. You get a lot. You get many great stuff, many great things with Leia's farm. Although you get some garbage along the way, and the extra stuff, the extra Omicron every month, and the extra, you know, it's okay. It's okay. Not as much as Jabba. So there you are. There are all your Galactic Legends, the good, the bad, the ugly in Galaxy of Heroes. Maybe I put this out there to maybe help you inform your farming decisions. One more note here. I mentioned Lightspeed bundles with Kylo and Rey. There's a Shadows of the Empire Lightspeed bundle, which kind of gets you a lot of help toward Jedi Master Luke and a little bit of help toward Leia Organa. There's not a full Jedi Master Luke bundle, but it is a big helper out there, so keep an eye out for that bundle as well. That's all we got for today. Hopefully this helps you out, guys. Let me know in comments if I missed anything. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, always remember, Nooch too good. One of the questions I'm asked most often, as your resident Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes roster reviewer, one of the questions I'm asked most often in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is, which Galactic Legend should I be farming next? And it's not a simple question. People think it's just like, oh, well, you got this, farm that. There are simplicities to it, but a lot of it goes into that most Galactic Legends are effective on some level in most game modes of